Cheers, I do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I am Down to Beer Whispers, trying to read the anyway. Hey, man, so I just picked this up the other day. Every year, usually typically is somewhere in February, Mother's does their, well, it used to be MILF, and last year it became Materfamilias. It is their imperial stout that's aged in 4 to 5 different barrels. But throughout the year, they release single barrel versions of them. This is their bourbon barrel version, Materfamilias. It is 11%. This is bourbon barrel aged. Our single barrel Materfamilias series highlights the unique qualities that each barrel type brings to Materfamilias, aged for 13 months in bourbon whiskey barrels from Willett Family Distillery. This beer gains prominent notes and aromas of spicy black pepper, burnt sweet orange peel, sweet corn, okay, dark caramel, and a firm tannic structure. The special release is a look into the blending that determines the character of the ultimate Materfamilias release. It was interesting, they say black pepper. Typically from a lot of bourbons, I personally get more white pepper than black pepper, but it is interesting that that's what they say here. It uses Willett bourbon barrels. Specifically which ones, they don't say, but it is Willett. So this is a big, rich, dark, decadent imperial stout. Whereas traditionally, well, and the Materfamilias, although it doesn't say here, the MILF, the Materfamilias, is traditionally aged with raisins and cocoa nibs as well. So on the nose, I do get bright fruit notes. You certainly feel, I feel raisin. You certainly get some dark chocolate for sure. Now, as far as those other things they mentioned on the nose, let's see, they talked about notes and aromas of spicy black pepper, burnt orange peel, sweet corn, dark caramel. Yeah, they say dark caramel. Sure, I probably would have described it more as toffee. And I'll tell you why. Because to me, caramel, even dark caramel, is creamier, is a creamier feel, whereas toffee is a little richer, a little more decadent. That's how I differentiate between caramel and toffee. But they're not wrong. That's what they say it is. That's what they say it is. Had I not read that, I would have described it as a rich dark toffee and not a caramel. Black pepper, sure, why not? There is a spice, I don't know. Had I not read that, if I would have differentiated that as black pepper, but sure, why not? Spicy burnt orange peel. Well, hell, I've never burnt an orange peel, so I wouldn't know what that aroma was anyway. But yes, there is some. You get some, that bourbon barrel char on the nose is how I would have described that, other than burnt orange peel. But sure, why the hell not? It's crazy good. It's crazy good. It runs about 15 for the 22-ounce bomber. Not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. However, in the world of craft beer that we live in today, that's not necessarily expensive either. Now, would I have rather seen this in a 4-pack for about 15, 16 bucks? Yeah, actually I would. That would give me more ounces to deal with. But yeah, I kind of understand why they do stuff like that. Even if you had to get, 19 bucks, 18, 19, for the 4-pack, I'd prefer that, because then I'd only be obligated for 12 ounces at a time. Now they don't mention it, but I personally feel some molasses notes. It's a very rich, very decadent beer, so there's no telling what you're going to get. I mean, raisin, chocolate, the whatever I read there, the black pepper, the burnt orange peel, sure, sweet corn, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, you're probably going to find all that in there. Again, had I not read that, my interpretation of what I'm tasting would be different than that. But now that I've read it, I can't, unread it. But trying to do what I do and stay very unpretentious, because I leave the pretentious, beer reviews to other guys, because I don't call what I do a beer review. I'm just having a beer and a conversation with you. That's why I tend to keep my descriptors simple. I'm not reading from the back of the BJCP guide. I'm not looking at my judge sheets. Oh, it has this, that, and the other. I want it to be relatable, which is why I do the beer videos the way I do them. Yeah, that burnt orange peel. Again, I do feel some barrel char, and maybe that's what they're getting at, because you do. But I don't know that I would have put that connection together. I do get some slight. There's some spice on the nose, and you do feel some spice throughout the beer and a little bit in the finish. I gotta say though, I don't know that I would have equated that to black pepper. I still feel like I'm getting a little bit of white pepper in the finish, because it comes at your palate in a different way than black pepper does for me, anyway. What's interesting though is that as decadent as this beer is, and as sweet and as cloying as it could be, it doesn't get there. There's a little bit of sweetness, but there's enough of everything else to keep this from getting too sweet, which was why I think this one is when people always look for those big names that they're looking for every year. That macro disguised as a micro that everybody looks for every Black Friday. Or the other beer now with the brewery faced with a lawsuit. This is the one I look forward to, and partly because it is a local brewery for me, but I actually think it's a better crafted beer. It is a different animal, and I agree to that. I'll stipulate that. But when this comes out in February, having aged in the 4 to 5 barrels that they use, I just think it's a more complete, more complex, more decadent beer concoction than those others. And when they put out these single barrel releases, they're just gorgeous. Because this as is, I mean, hell, man. Like I said, I would buy 4 pack after 4 pack, especially right now through the end of the year. I wish this was available in 4 packs. For about between $15 to $19. Sure, why the hell not? I'd purchase it because I think it's that good. It gives you all the flavors, yet it does again. It cleans up so nicely. You do get those peppery. For me, I get the peppery notes in the finish, but there is some driving it all the way through, which is maybe where they're feeling the black pepper. There is some sweetness. Is probably where they say the sweet corn, from the bourbon barrels. I'm not feeling that as corn, to be honest with you, but I can see how some might. I would personally, although I agree with their dark caramel note. Again, I would have probably have described it as a dark toffee, because I don't feel it. I feel it more. I feel it a little richer and more decadent than say caramel. Which for me, when I say caramel, I'm talking about a creamier note. But that's semantics. That's just how I see it, man. Anybody can see it any way they want to. Bottom line, yes, it's a fantastic beer. Of course it is. It's amazing. Mother's doing some great stuff, and this is their masterpiece, man. The beer formerly known as MILF. But some folks got their knickers all up in a twist, and oh, anyway, I wasn't one of them. Hell, I can take a joke. You know, how you want to call a beer old fat white guy? That wouldn't offend me. So I don't know why people got offended by milk, but hey, man. Yeah. Anyways, Materfamilias. It is the beer that I look forward every winter, and it's a beer that I look forward to throughout the year as they release the single barrel versions of. So there you go. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. Hey, I love mothers, man. I've been a fan for a long time. Jeff, the owner out there, I deal with well, Kyle, I'm not going to be presumptuous and say we're friends because I only know him from there. But we do talk when I visit the place, and he's just a great guy, and he's full of information. So I'd be happy to see him up there anyway. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, perverism, and they've always treated me well over the years too. All around good guy. Cheers, y'all. Oh yeah, that's just freaking gorgeous, man.